พรหมาจโลกาทิปติสหัมปติกัดอัญชลีอันทิวรังอายาจทาสันติทัสสัตตาปาราชาคชาติกาเทเสตุธัมมังอนุกรรมปิมังปะชังนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังธัมมังสังฆังนะมัสสามิ So we're all here for Magha Puja. I think most of us probably know what the occasion is. Say for traditional Buddhists, yeah, this is one of the important holidays in the year. This is, as some of you may have known, yes, when 1,250 arahants spontaneously came together to meet the Buddha on the full moon in March, usually, February, yeah. And the legend has that it was in the beginning of his ministry, and these are actually all monks ordained by the Buddha. It was during the first year of his teaching, and back then it didn't have to have a formal process of ordination. All he has to say was, "Ehi bhikkhu, come," and that was it. Now we have 3 pages of chanting that we have to remember. But as things evolve over the years. And I think this is generally considered, designated as the day of the Sangha. They're celebrating community, celebrating the enlightened ones, the community of enlightened beings here. So in the Buddha, we have the Buddha Day, which is Wesak, when he became enlightened in full moon of May. And then we have Asala Puja, which is Dhamma, when the Buddha gave his first teaching. So to say today is Magha Puja, when all the monks met together, all the arahants met together. And I think today there's many ways to reflect on this occasion. But I think today we could offer some reflection. Coming together today, doing the chanting, the circumambulation. I think the thing that came to mind was the bringing this energy up, practicing late into the night, was an offering. This is an offering that we're, as a community, coming together to offer to, in terms of the Sangha, but in terms, like your personal practice, you can think of this is, today is the day to honor, to reflect in appreciation and gratitude for all the teachers, all the people that's helped you along your path to practice. Yeah. And they don't have to be monks or nuns, don't have to be fully enlightened beings or fully enlightened Buddhas. They could be just your fellow journey, fellow friends in the holy day, people who introduce you to the Dhamma, your first teacher, first person who just gave you a book and encouraged you to meditate. And if you're new to Buddhism, or if you are a traditional Buddhist who've been Buddhist since birth, so been going to the monastery, crawling to the monastery since you were little, then just remembering all the different teachers, different monks and nuns that you've met over the years that help you with your practice, help inspired you, help you brought you here. And yes, even though, like I said, there's always this different perspective to look into the practice. And yes, a lot of it is, kind of the grit. You have to roll up your sleeve and do the practice, keep the precept, be restrained, put hours and hours and hours and hours and hours into watching the breath, whatever it is that we do into practice. And then, sweat it out in the salas all those years, getting calluses on your legs and your bums, the practice. And so it's like something you have to work at. But another way to look at it is, we're here because of the blessings of the Buddha. We're here because of being blessings. We have all the monks and nuns that met us, that trigger something in us, trigger the seed of enlightenment, to trigger the seed, the fire of practice. And we, like I said, we're conditioned beings. And it is a great blessing to be, on the path, to be practicing, to be in the community of good people. They can be very annoying at times, but generally they're pretty good. Practicing together, keeping the precept, being harmless, trying really hard to cultivate wholesome states. And as you know, most of you who live in the world know that it's not an easy thing, something that we shouldn't take for granted. Coming together, being in a good space, a quiet space, a space where people that you can trust. That, well, I do anyway. Don't have to lock your door. I have to know there's no cupboard. None of my cupboards are locked. Because there's just knowing that people, well, that's nothing to steal mostly, but also there's just knowing that people, these people I trust. They don't have to. I don't have to worry about people are going to take things of mine. Either it's going to hurt you in any way. Certainly not intentionally. So it is a great blessing to be part of that. And for, in terms of my personal practice, I just, reflect on, the amazing gratitude, the amazing kind of feelings I get by, amazing opportunity I've had just meeting, really wonderful practitioners, beautiful monks and nuns. And the reason I'm here is because, through those meetings, just feeling inspired, something that, feeling that I've witnessed in the presence, experienced something that is very rare in this world, a pure being, a being that is, has this calm mind, being that is seeing clearly, being that has, that has no anger, irritation in their mind, and that the whole being, whole way of life is to cultivate wholesome state, is to give happiness and peace and all this good stuff to other beings. The whole being is just to help others on the way. And yes, I remember, like I said, meeting the first monk while I was in Thailand as a lay person, and just feel very inspired to take up the practice, or just to continue to go on the journey. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know how to things. I wasn't Buddhist, so I had this idea of enlightenment or anything, but I was curious of what this path would bring. Yeah, and then as a novice, meeting, the forest masters, the Kruba Ajahns, meeting Ajahn Tan. Still remember the first meeting, still very clearly in my head what's happening. I was in the sala, trying to listen to Thai, didn't understand a thing, being eaten up mosquitoes, but still very curious. Still like, what? Something here, something really precious, something really interesting here that I want to explore. I want to know more about this way. And really, and also coming from a cynical world, didn't really believe, while I was in Adicca, I didn't really believe that people could, do this life, that you could be, working together, not using money, not having a relationship. Well, something must be funny here. I'm going to find out and write a book about it. And And to my surprise, that there was nothing funny going. It was actually very pure, actually, that people are trying to do the best. I mean, we have our differences and, we get on each other's nerves, but most part people are trying, and that's, I find it very beautiful. That, like I said, I wasn't expecting perfection when I came to the monastery. I was expecting the opposite, actually. But what I found was, that I found that there's a beauty to it, that there is, people are trying, there's the regular schedule, and it wasn't easy. But we form a companionship, we form a camaraderie together, working together, suffering together, waking up early together, and doing, all the chores. And over time, you kind of grew together, you grew closer. And as some of you might have heard, some of the people that I've kind of trained with, those are the people that I would, in the normal lay where I would say, I would never spend any time with them. If I see them walking down the street, I would just go on the other side. Because these people you don't have anything in common with, they're very different than you. But just the fact that we couldn't escape. We had to sit next to each other, do everything together. We hardly knew each other. But over the years, over the months, we formed a kind of very strong bond. And they are, truly, when you step into the Sangha, most of you know, you do relinquish your family, fade away. I mean, they're still important, but in a monastery, it's actually your personal relationships of mom and dad and brother and sister kind of fade away over time, and that your immediate, your Sangha family become much, much more important. And that just by, I guess, proximity, like you're doing everything together, cultivating, that you feel over time that, there's definitely something to that. That everybody in this room, the fact that we're here in this room practicing together, obviously we must have been brothers and sisters sometime in the past, somewhere. We must have been practicing together sometime in the past as well. And here we are together again, continuing the path of cultivation, continuing the path of practice. So today, I'm kind of weaving into the practice of sitting and walking throughout the night, and just most of it is, like I said, it's an exploration of what it's like to maintain continual practice over a certain number of hours, and to pace ourselves. What is it like to come into contact with different states of mind? Obviously, initially, the beginning is so beautiful, the inspiration, so lovely, do the circumambulation, and then doing the chanting, everybody's so peaceful, quiet. And then, you get to 10, 11, 12 o'clock, getting tired, getting grumpy, and then again, you feel more irritated. And you say, what's it like when the mind is not so inspired? There's nothing wrong with it. This is what tiredness feels like. This is what sleepiness. What this is boredom feels like. I'm sitting here in the dark, thinking, doubts coming up. This is really stupid practice. You make me sit in the dark, and you make me not supposed to fall asleep. How does that work? So why don't we turn the light on or something? But no, so we can just watch this doubting mind, the fault-finding mind come. Or somebody starts to move, and you're like, I wish that person would stop shuffling. Why do I have to sit next to this person? He shuffles all night long, Next time she goes to sit some other place or something. Different things that come up in the mind. But main thing, hopefully, the practice is to be aware and to cultivate this spaciousness, just to accept things, to allow things to be. A lot of practice I try to, kind of work with, everything's belong. The way we look at the world, everything belong. It's not like, I like this, I don't like that. It's like everything belong. Everything has their reasons. And they do. Everything is here because due causes and condition. If the cause didn't come about, they wouldn't be here. So obviously, everything, everybody in this world, in this room, right here or now, come through causes and conditions. Right? They all have their reason to be here. So our practice is try to accept, to embrace, and to learn from the situations, from other people. And it's true, you might not, when you're in the thick of things, in that moment, when you're arguing with each other, when you're getting each other's nerve, you might think, this is not so fun. But I guarantee you, after 20 years, that is when you grow the most. When you seem to be hitting a wall, either in your practice, hitting a wall in terms of a situation you find yourself that are not so, what you find are not so pleasant. Could be a sickness, could be stuck in meditation, could be not getting along with another person that you're, oh my God, I'm in the kitchen with this whole week of this person. Like, I can't imagine. Why do I have to get stuck with this person? And then you find your way to work through, to allow, to see what happens. You find your way to stay in the present moment and not project into the future, whatever it is. And that's where we grow the most. It is in difficult situation. It is in a situation that we cannot run away from. And this is where the monastery is really good at that. And you can't run away generally. Like I said, we sit in a certain way. We eat at 10 o'clock, not at 9:30, not at 10:30. We do everything, the same thing every single day, mostly. But it allows us to see what is it like to do this. What are different states that come up? So when we do this practice at night, when we are sitting late to the night and you're all tired and then different states come up, some negative states, the practice is just to be with it, to allow that to be, to say, well, it's here for me to learn something. And the least of it is, like today is a day of offering. So I'm offering my energy, offering my time, offering my body, my mind, in dedication of all the teachers that have led me to be here, all the people that helped me through my practice. I offer this to Luang Por Lim, to Ajahn Tan, Ajahn Chai Saro, to Prat Peter, who introduced me, my first monk I met, from my friend Alika, who dragged me to the monastery when I didn't really want to go. To all the people who helped me in this path. To the non-existent taxi driver that should have taken me away from the monastery when I was trying to run away when he didn't come. To all the causes and conditions that still allows me to be in the monastery, to practice. So when we look at the practice as an offering, I think there's much more beauty, much more grace, and much more openness. It's not like you're trying to get somewhere. You're not trying to get to Samadhi tonight. You're not trying to get through the night. You're just in the present moment and offering whatever you have, whatever energy, whatever mindfulness, I'm cultivating wholesome states. And may I, through this act of goodness, may I offer this to all the people that helped you in your path, to cultivate this all the way to the end. So this is more of, look at tonight, look at your practice as more as an offering, as an act of dedication. Instead of so often we go into a self-view, self-delusion of wanting to get things from somewhere, wanting to be better, wanting to get rid of your bad self, want to be more holy, more pure, more calm. If I can be more calm and more mindful, then I'll be happy. And I always want to remind people, be happy where you are. Be happy with the crazy mind. Be happy with the fault-finding mind. Be happy with the distracted mind. And from that happiness, things will calm down on their own. Things will be clarified. Things will be purified. It is through this contentment. It is through this gratitude. It is through this being with things as they are, the contentment. Everything else grows from that. With patience, and learn to accept life for what it is and to learn from that. So tonight, as we sit, reflect on the full moon of March, what is it like? hopefully we act. We're offering an energy. We're bringing to mind, this is an act of offering. We offer, my practice is an offer to all the people here, to all the people that have helped me in my path until in this present, until the future people who come. And as a monk, it's so much more. It's not just the teacher, it's also obviously the wider lay community will come and feed us, literally, sustain us on the path physically. And that is also, a great blessing to be part of all this. And the fact that we're here offering people an opportunity to come and practice as well. So, like I said over and over again, it's good to see that you're just not like an individual, solitary being all by yourself, trying to struggle through all your confusions and all your craving and all your negative states of mind. But we're just a small part of something much more bigger. We're sitting here meditation in the sala, but really reflecting all the countries, other Buddhist countries, non-Buddhist country, tonight everybody is also sitting, meditating, cultivating a wholesome state, working on transcending suffering. So we're all part of this beautiful kind of structure, infrastructure, beautiful kind of machinery that the Buddha started. And it's something that rolls through time, rolls through culture, endless. It's been doing this for eons and eons and eons, and we're just part of that, doing our thing, cultivating wholesome states. And hopefully we end up in a big explosion into nothingness. We offer that to everybody that's come and helped us. So I offer that for your reflection today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.